In the pulsating heart of Midnight Grove, where the city's heartbeat merged with whispers of the supernatural, a thrill-seeker named Alex found themselves lured toward an enigmatic pop-up carnival that materialized mysteriously on Halloween. Against the backdrop of skyscrapers cloaked in the eerie glow of city lights, they stepped into a tent forgotten by time, its fabric unraveling with tales of spectral celebrations. Guided by an unsettling melody that echoed through the city's labyrinthine alleys, Alex discovered a treasure trove of candies radiating an otherworldly glow. Unbeknownst to them, these seemingly innocent sweets harbored a sinister enchantment, linking the carnival to the restless spirits of performers lost to a twisted fate. As the clock struck midnight, the carnival erupted into a malevolent spectacle. Routines of village neon lights flickered with an ominous glow. There was one legend, and echoes of deranged laughter reverberated against the cold steel of towering buildings. Generations, the candies. The legend spoke of a spectral malevolence hidden within the darkest depths of our rhythm of the carnival's heartbeat. It was said that the mirror held a malevolent revelry, capable of bringing to life ghastly apparition, a small figure with hollow eyes. Her voice, the stories warned that anyone who dared to gaze into this guide led Alex through a nightmarish narrative of the carnival's tragic past, their most where performers met gruesome fates, and the scent of corruption. Most of the villagers dismissed this legend as old superstition, glow of the cursed to keep children away from the carnival spirits contorted and writhed. They believed it was merely a scary story to deter curious minds like mine. A tangible sense of dread thickened the legend as the clock's whispers inexorably approached an abyssal adventurous spirit. And I knew I had to find the clutches of malevolent magic. On a misty autumn morning, stood at the crossroads of their own perilous journey, leaving behind the familiarity of demonic energy. And the candy wrappers whispered promises of eternal nightmares. And the air grew colder as I ventured deeper into the woods, now revealing a monstrous facade, took me farther away from the life I had always known, to the insidious spell. After hours of searching, driven by terror, my persistence led me to a clearing haunted carnival with thorny vines, pursued by twisted specters. At the center of this clearing stood a massive ornate mirror, obscured by a dense tangle of a realm of urban nightmares, clung to them like a sinister shadow, and its surface was light of dawn banished the cursed darkness, almost lifelike engravings. Emerging from the horror, despite the gnawing fear in my candy bag, I couldn't resist the temptation to peer into the cursed mirror. The urban legends of Midnight Grove would forever recount the chilling tale of the soul who danced with the damned, met my gaze, forever haunted by the cursed candies that bound them to the carnival's malevolent grasp. My own Halloween contorted as the city's heartbeat to a grotesque nightmarish version of myself, beckoning others to explore the haunting mysteries that lurked beneath the surface of Midnight Grove. Hideous, bony fingers wrapping around my wrist. In the heart of Hollow Creek, where legends whispered through the rustling leaves, Halloween night held the promise of enchantment. Lily, an intrepid adventurer with a penchant for the peculiar, couldn't resist the allure of an ancient carnival that materialized mysteriously under the pale moonlight. Drawn by a haunting melody that seemed to beckon her closer, Lily stumbled upon a weathered tent, its entrance adorned with faded banners of long-forgotten spectacles. The air crackled with an otherworldly energy as she entered, discovering a treasure trove of candies that shimmered with a spectral glow, each piece seemingly infused with the echoes of bygone carnival joy. As the clock chimed midnight, the carnival came to life. Flickering lights illuminated the skeletal frames of abandoned rides, and the air filled with the distant laughter of ghostly performers. Unbeknownst to Lily, the candies she sampled carried a dormant magic, a spell that rekindled the spirits of performers who once graced the now deserted carnival grounds. Amidst the ethereal revelry, Lily noticed a small girl spirit, her translucent form mirroring Lily's own reflection. With a mischievous smile, the ghostly child beckoned Lily further into the carnival's enchanting depths. As they strolled through the ghostly echoes of forgotten laughter, the spirits shared tales of joy, heartache, and the untimely demise that bound them to this spectral existence. In the spectral glow of enchanted candies, the carnival spirits twirled and danced, their laughter harmonizing with a haunting melody that seemed to emanate from the very soul of the carnival itself. The air thickened with anticipation as the clock's hands inched closer to the witching hour. Caught between the allure of magic and the solemn warnings of the spirits, Lily found herself standing at the crossroads of enchantment and reality. The carnival pulsed with a captivating energy, and the candy wrappers crinkled with ghostly whispers, tempting her to surrender to the mysterious spell. With a surge of courage, Lily made a daring escape through the carnival grounds, the spirits chasing the lingering scent of the enchanted candies. The carnival, a fleeting mirage, dissolved into the shadows just as dawn's first light painted the sky. Emerging from the enchanted night, Lily clutched her candy bag, still aglow with the carnival's magic. She became the town's living legend, the girl who ventured beyond the veil on Halloween, dancing with ghosts under the moonlit spell of the carnival's ancient charm. And every year, as the tales were retold, the carnival's melody echoed faintly in the crisp Halloween breeze, inviting others to explore the mysteries that awaited under the pale moonlight. The townsfolk, inspired by Lily's bravery, would gather at the carnival grounds, hoping to catch a glimpse of the spectral dancers and hear the haunting melody that bridged the gap between the living and the ethereal. Thus, the carnival became a yearly tradition, a testament to the enduring magic of Halloween and the courage to venture into the unknown. I was born and raised in a small, isolated village, nestled deep within a dense, ancient forest. My life was ordinary, filled with the routines of village existence. But there was one legend that had always captured my imagination, a chilling tale passed down through generations. The legend spoke of a cursed mirror, hidden within the darkest depths of our woods. It was said that the mirror held a malevolent power, capable of bringing to life one's deepest fears and darkest nightmares. The stories warned that anyone who dared to gaze into this cursed mirror would be subjected to a horrifying ordeal, as their most terrifying fears would come to life. Most of the villagers dismissed this legend as old superstition, meant to keep children away from the foreboding forest. They believed it was merely a scary story to deter curious minds like mine. But I couldn't resist the allure of the legend. The whispers of the cursed mirror called to my adventurous spirit, and I knew I had to find it. On a misty autumn morning, I set out on my perilous journey, leaving behind the familiarity of our village. The forest felt eerily silent, and the air grew colder as I ventured deeper into the woods. Each step took me farther away from the life I had always known. After hours of searching, my persistence led me to a clearing overgrown with thorny vines. At the center of this clearing stood a massive, ornate mirror, obscured by a dense tangle of ivy. The mirror exuded an aura of malevolence, and its surface was etched with cryptic symbols and eerie, almost lifelike engravings. Despite the gnawing fear in my heart, I couldn't resist the temptation to peer into the cursed mirror. I leaned in, my breath fogging up the glass, and the moment my reflection met my gaze, the mirror's surface rippled as if disturbed by an unseen force. My own reflection contorted and twisted into a grotesque, nightmarish version of myself. The monstrous doppelganger reached out of the mirror, its hideous, bony fingers wrapping around my wrist with a bone-chilling grip. I let out a blood-curdling scream as I felt a searing pain in my wrist. I was trapped, my own worst fear incarnate and malevolent. The horrifying figure, a twisted reflection of my inner demons, began to mimic my every move. Its eyes, once mirrors of my own, now glowed with malevolence as it spoke in a sinister, distorted version of my voice. It recounted my deepest fears, secrets, and insecurities. For hours, I was locked in a nightmarish dance with my terrifying reflection, unable to break free from its sinister grasp. The cursed mirror seemed to feed on my despair, growing stronger with each passing moment. Desperation clawed at me, and I realized there was only one way to escape the mirror's curse. I needed to confront my deepest fears, secrets, and insecurities head-on. With every ounce of courage I could muster, I began to confess my fears and face them, one by one. As I did, the monstrous reflection began to weaken, its grotesque form distorting further. Its words became fainter and more distant as I summoned the strength to confront the very demons that had held me captive. With each confession, I felt a strange sense of liberation. Finally, when I had laid bare all of my fears and insecurities, the cursed mirror's surface shattered into countless shards, and the horrifying reflection disintegrated into a cloud of darkness. I stumbled out of the forest, forever changed by the harrowing ordeal. I returned to the village with a newfound strength, having conquered my deepest fears in a way few could ever imagine. The legend of the cursed mirror continued to haunt our village, serving as a chilling reminder of the consequences of one's deepest fears and the extraordinary courage it takes to confront them. I, now a symbol of resilience and bravery, found a new purpose in life, helping others confront their own fears and insecurities. The cursed mirror remained hidden deep in the forest, a dark enigma that dared only the bravest souls to seek it out, and a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. In the small, remote village where I lived, a sinister legend cast a long, foreboding shadow over our community. It was a tale of a cursed mirror hidden deep within the heart of an ancient mystical forest that surrounded our village. This cursed mirror was rumored to possess a malevolent power unlike any other, one that could bring a person's deepest fears and darkest nightmares to life. For as long as I could remember, this eerie legend had been passed down from generation to generation, serving as a dark cautionary tale to keep the curious away from the depths of the forbidding forest. Most villagers considered it mere superstition, a story meant to scare children and protect them from wandering too far into the woods. But for me, it became an obsession, a haunting riddle I was determined to solve. One fateful morning, driven by a curiosity I couldn't suppress, I decided to venture into the heart of the forest, a place where few dared to tread. The air grew colder with every step, and the towering trees seemed to whisper secrets of ancient times. I pushed deeper into the woods, the silence broken only by the eerie sounds of rustling leaves and the distant hoot of an owl. Hours into my journey, I stumbled upon a clearing, surrounded by thickets and overgrown with thorny vines. At the center of the clearing stood a massive, ornate mirror, half concealed by the ivy that clung to it like a sinister shroud. The mirror's surface was etched with cryptic symbols and eerie, lifelike engravings, and an undeniable malevolence emanated from it. Despite the fear that gnawed at my heart, I couldn't resist the allure of the cursed mirror. I leaned in, my breath creating fog on the glass, and the moment my reflection met my gaze, the mirror's surface rippled as if disturbed by an invisible force. To my horror, my own reflection began to warp and twist into a grotesque, nightmarish version of myself. The monstrous doppelganger reached out from the mirror, its gnarled, skeletal hand seizing my wrist with a grip that sent shivers down my spine. A searing pain coursed through my arm, and I let out a blood-curdling scream. I was trapped, my very worst fear brought to life in a malevolent form. The grotesque figure, a twisted reflection of my inner demons, began to mimic my every movement. Its eyes, once a mirror of my own, now glowed with a sinister malevolence as it spoke with my own voice, recounting my deepest fears, secrets, and insecurities in a taunting and mocking tone. For what felt like an eternity, I was locked in a nightmarish dance with this horrifying reflection, unable to break free from its sinister grasp. The cursed mirror seemed to feed on my despair, growing stronger with each passing moment. Desperation consumed me, and I realized that the only way to escape the mirror's curse was to confront my deepest fears head-on. With every ounce of courage I could muster, I began to confess my fears and confront them one by one. As I did, the monstrous reflection grew weaker, its form distorting further with each admission. Its words became fainter, and I felt a strange sense of liberation with every fear I confronted. Finally, after baring my soul and facing all my fears and insecurities, the cursed mirror's surface shattered into countless shards, and the horrifying reflection disintegrated into a swirling cloud of darkness. I stumbled out of the forest, forever changed by the harrowing ordeal. Returning to the village, I had a newfound strength. a testament to the courage it took to confront my deepest fears in the most terrifying way possible. The legend of the cursed mirror continued to haunt our village, a chilling reminder of the consequences of facing one's own inner demons. The cursed mirror remained hidden deep within the forest, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit and a warning to those who might dare to seek it out. In a distant, secluded village, an eerie legend whispered through moonlit nights and echoed around roaring bonfires. It was a tale of the cursed mirror, concealed deep within the heart of an ancient, enigmatic forest that clung to the village's edge. This cursed mirror held an uncanny power, unlike any other mirror said to have the chilling ability to materialize a person's most harrowing fears and darkest nightmares. The story had been handed down through generations, a macabre cautionary tale meant to keep the curious at bay, far from the perilous depths of the ominous forest. Most villagers regarded it as an old wives' tale, a mere superstition spun to protect wayward wanderers from the perils of the untamed woods. But for me, it wasn't just a bedtime story. It was an enigma that had gnawed at my very soul. One crisp autumn morning, the forest was cloaked in mist, and the trees seemed to bow to the mysteries of the woods. On this day, my heart, a curious drum in my chest, led me to venture into the heart of the woods, away from the cozy embrace of our village. With each step, the air grew colder, and the towering trees whispered secrets, their shadows dancing like phantoms. After a seemingly endless journey through gnarled underbrush and winding pathways, I stumbled upon a small, enchanting clearing. In its midst stood an imposing, ornate mirror, almost hidden by the wild tendrils of ivy that had ensnared it. The mirror's surface bore cryptic symbols and uncannily lifelike engravings, and it exuded an eerie malevolence that sent a shiver down my spine. Despite the fear that clenched my heart, I couldn't resist the magnetic pull of the cursed mirror. I leaned in, my breath creating tendrils of fog on the glass, and as my reflection met my gaze, the mirror's surface rippled as if an arcane force had awakened. To my horror, my own reflection twisted and contorted into a nightmarish version of myself. The grotesque doppelganger surged from the mirror, its skeletal hand seizing my wrist with a grip as cold as death. An agonizing pain shot through my arm, and an anguished scream tore through the quiet of the forest. I was ensnared, my worst fears given dreadful life in a malevolent form. The nightmarish figure, a sinister mirror of my inner demons, mimicked my every movement with chilling precision. Its once familiar eyes, now ablaze with malevolence, used my voice to recount my deepest fears, secrets, and insecurities with a cruel, mocking tone. For an eternity that felt like an instant, I was ensnared in a harrowing dance with my grotesque reflection, unable to escape its sinister clutches. The cursed mirror seemed to feast on my terror, growing stronger with each passing moment. Desperation gnawed at my soul, and I realized that the only way to break free from the mirror's curse was to confront my deepest fears head-on. With every ounce of bravery I could muster, I began to confess my fears and face them, one by one. As I did, the monstrous reflection weakened, its form distorting and contorting until it was a mere shadow of itself. Its taunts grew fainter, and an overwhelming sense of liberation washed over me with each fear I dared to confront. At long last, after baring my soul and confronting my deepest fears, the cursed mirror's surface shattered into countless shards, and the horrifying reflection dissolved into an inky void. I stumbled out of the forest, forever transformed by the harrowing experience. Upon my return to the village, I carried a newfound strength, a testament to the extraordinary courage it took to confront my darkest fears in the most terrifying way possible. The legend of the cursed mirror continued to cast a haunting shadow over our village, a chilling reminder of the price one might pay for daring to glimpse the abyss of their own fears. The cursed mirror remained hidden deep within the forest, a cryptic enigma that beckoned only the most daring souls to seek it out, and an enduring testament to the indomitable power of the human spirit.